What's going on, everyone, and welcome back. So before we get into the video today, just wanted to give a shout out to the winner of my 50 subscriber giveaway. The winner was Michael Anke. I apologize if I am butchering the name. I most likely am. But congratulations. He won a $50 gift card to an eShop of his choosing. He chose the Nintendo eShop. So congratulations and thank you to everyone that participated, that commented, subscribed, liked. The I guess outreach and the amount of people that saw it and yeah, just the new people to the channel. It was amazing. I did not expect that many people to well, for one, just comment on the video itself to put in, but yeah, the amount of new subscribers we got was crazy. So I really appreciate it to everybody, and yeah. So if you're new here, welcome, and hopefully you'll find some good stuff in the videos that we put out, and specifically this one. Yeah. So I guess for any of the new ones, I did do an episode of I guess this series earlier. I am changing the name a little bit, but it kind of revolves around what the channel is about, which is obviously talking about video games. I love them, but to also find ways that utilize video games to help veterans and anyone else that basically might be struggling for anything. So yeah, the other video, you can go check that out. There's a couple of games that I highlighted there, and yeah, in this video, like the title suggests, we're going to talk about five games that I think that any vet could benefit from playing, and really that any well veteran, first responder, basically anyone that has a stressful job that have gone through stressful things, or just in general, someone that wants that escape, someone that wants I guess something that can take their mind off everyday life, woes, whatever the case may be. So, without any further ado, let's get right into the first one. It should be no surprise. This game, it is featured on so many articles. It's extremely popular. But Animal Crossing: New Horizons came on the Switch. What was it, last year? Really, it was almost perfectly timed, like right at the start of COVID. This game came out, I believe, and it was one that, I will not lie, I have not gotten into almost any of the Animal Crossings, and so I was gonna put this on the previous video, in this series, that I did last year, but it was on like, well, I don't want to put a game on that I haven't played, but at the same time, there's so many games that I haven't played, and that I guess I'd be remiss to not include stuff like this. But Animal Crossing, I mean, it's a life simulator. You're on a deserted island, and you are just building it up. Kind of like we see here, you start out just very basic things in a tent. You slowly build things up. There's so many things you can do: farming, fishing, bug catching. Tons of exploring. So much customization that you can do. You're welcome to new villagers. You're building everything up, building them houses. Just it's amazing, and it's one that, I mean, it's been featured in so many articles that you could probably find anywhere, that basically talks about that it can be relaxing and help reduce stress and help combat stress. So it's one that, honestly, I mean, you can never go wrong with a game like this. It's fun. It's awesome. I've played a little bit, but again, not a ton, just because I have so many other games that are similar to this, and a couple are on this list as well. Yeah, so definitely one to pick up. All right, the next one came out quite a while ago, and I won't lie, it took me, I want to say, almost exactly 4 years to beat this game. It's definitely not that long, by any means, but it was just one. I'd play it for a while, then I'd stop for something else, and I'd play it again. But a beautiful game. I believe it was the first one for the Tokyo RPG Factory. I think it was the first game that they put out, in that company, and it had a lot of Final Fantasy developers, a lot of I guess veterans in the RPG genre, and you can definitely see it here. It's almost like a love letter to a lot of the older RPG games. But the reason why I have it on this list is, for one, it's it's a bit slower paced, but it's the music, the style, the artwork. It's almost just like hauntingly beautiful. For the I mean, the mechanics of the game, again, it's very traditional. You take turns, you do it in a battle. You kind of move around a little bit, but it is almost solely turn based. You can combine abilities, do joint attacks, that kind of thing. It has a lot of modern mechanics that have added into it, but it is very much a traditional RPG. So some people aren't a fan of it. Some people think it is too slow, but it is kind of a theme in a lot of these games is that they're slower, and I think it's a key piece and a key thing about a lot of video games that I think is missed, and that a lot of people, even if it's hard to get into, if you can kind of get yourself to slow down from the everyday life, because everything is about go go go. The whole entire world is about just going as fast as you can, making as much of the most out of your time, that kind of thing. In a lot of ways, you should absolutely, but there there are a lot of times that you need to just slow down, you just need to relax, and you just need to turn your mind off. You just need to enjoy something in the moment, and this game would be perfect for it. It's beautiful, the music is amazing. Again, been out for a while, but you can get it on almost anything nowadays. Such a good game. All right, third one on this list is a bit of a controversial one, and I'll kind of tell you why as we go into it. It's called The Pathless, and so I played this one on the PS5. It was one of the first games I got for it, and I believe I'd gotten it as a Christmas present this last year. And that's, I mean, to start off, it is a very, very good looking game. Visually, it is stunning. You can kind of see some of the stuff here. It's very fast paced in the aspect of you're moving, you're shooting your bow at these, I guess, icons that can propel you forward. So you can move at a very quick pace, which makes traversing the world very, I guess, easy and quickly. And also you can kind of see there, you can fly off with the eagle that you have. But it's a beautiful game, and it was fun to play. It was very short, though I didn't do everything. I believe I beat the main deal of it in about 3 hours. So the only thing I would say to this one is it's not. I would say if it's more than $30, don't buy it. Wait until it either goes on sale or if it's gone down. I honestly don't know what the price is now. But the main downside I'd have to this game, and this is why it's kind of controversial, is that there's not a lot to do. Like you can see, it's beautiful visuals, and it is a very large world, but there's not a lot. Like you only have the couple of boss battles. The only time you actually do anything. Like there is no extra monsters. There's very little in that aspect. So it's very heavy on the exploration and the the I guess the journey. And so it is one that for that aspect, that's why I do recommend it. In that it was very calming when I did play it. I was hooked. I played it straight through, and there was a lot more I could have done, a lot more I could have explored. But that I do feel like there was some things missing, and if they some things they could have added, just kind of like just padded a little bit, add maybe even some like I guess more side quests, people to talk to. I don't know. It was very heavy on. It was almost like an isolationist journey. So it was a very unique experience, and I stand by it that it's definitely worth playing. But definitely not worth. It's definitely not a $50, $60 game by any means. And I don't think it came out that. I want to say I believe it came out at $40. The PS5 might have been 50. Again, I'm not sure, but definitely want to check out. Definitely want to experience, and just for the visual aspect of it, because it is a beautiful game. All right, number 4. Now, the cat the I will admit I haven't played this version that we're showing here because it is on the Switch, but I did play it when it first came out on the 3DS, and that is Rune Factory 4. Now, if you've never played any of the Rune Factory series, it kind of takes the Animal Crossing style, the Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons, the farming life simulator type of game, and it takes that and it just melds it with an RPG. It melds it with some action, RPG combat, some dungeon exploring, and yeah, it kind of mashes together, and which makes it honestly, I think, almost a perfect mashup of those two genres. Like it's not extremely heavy on the RPG side, which a lot of people don't like the heavy RPG style of games, and then other same thing. You don't like the just straight farming simulators. It can get monotonous or boring, whatever case is. This is a great mashup and a great in between. If you've never tried any genres, it's a great place to jump into. But if you have played some of them or played some of the type of games of either genre, this one is going to be perfectly up your alley, and it'll keep you hooked for hours upon hours upon hours. And the thing I like about it is, for one, this is an updated version, added a few things to it. It brought to the Switch, which is awesome. It's a lot easier to play, and visually, it looks better than the 3DS counterpart. But it's just a good game. Again, the same type of things. You farm, so you're growing crops, you're harvesting crops. You can also you can go into dungeons and just different. I guess you could call them levels. Who knows? But and just attack enemies. You're leveling up. You're gaining equipment. That kind of thing. So there's a lot to this game and a lot of things you can do. There's mini games. Just yeah, so much is packed into this little of a game, and it is beautiful. It's one that, I mean, you don't have to play any of the previous Rune Factories to enjoy this game, and yeah, you can jump in at any time. So highly recommend it. And the last one, and I saved this one for last mainly because I've sunk way too much time into this. Not as much as some by any means, but that one is Stardew Valley. Now, if you've been in the gaming scene, I guess, for the last handful of years, most likely you've heard this game. Most likely you've played this game because at a very attractive and reasonable price point, and more than worth what you're getting. It's accessible almost at all. Originally, and I believe the trailer here was for the original release, which was on PC. I think it was Steam that it came out on. But it is just that it's a farming simulator, almost hands down. It does have some RPG elements to it where you're I guess leveling up. I guess it'd be abilities. So you're leveling up your farming, you're leveling up fishing, you're leveling up mining, attacking, your combat, all that kind of stuff. But at its core, it is a farming simulator. As you can see here, you're growing and harvesting crops. You can take care of animals. You have sheep, cows, ducks, chickens, horses, but you can go into mines and harvest minerals, harvest ore, fish. Again, there's so much you can do with this game, and the reason why I prefer it, at least, and maybe until I can get into an Animal Crossing more, is that it's not quite as real time as Animal Crossing. So Animal Crossing, it takes into account the real world clock, and it goes by that. So things that happen at night are going to happen at night in the real world, that kind of thing. For this one, it's on a year schedule, but it also, I mean, you have 4 seasons, 30 days each, and that's it. So that's a year in it, and the time definitely goes faster than in real world time. But it's, I mean, I would say it is a perfect game. It is a 10 out of 10 in my book. There's almost nothing wrong with this game. I mean, you can do almost anything. You can, harvest, or I guess establish relationships, actually get into relationships with people. You can just, if you decide to just be alone, you can do that. You can cook. I mean, there's so much you can do with this game that I don't know. I mean, I really can't say anything else about it. But it's one you can sink so much time into, and so much, I guess, creativity, and that is why I like these type of games. Is that it leaves it up to you. You can literally do anything you want. If you don't like being like an animal farmer, you don't want to raise chickens, you don't want to worry about cows, that kind of thing. Then you don't have to. Like on the playthrough that I'm doing right now, I'd have a couple animals, but for the most part, my two main things that I do besides regular farming, because I do that as well, is the combat and the mining. So basically mining and combat, as well as fishing. So, but you can choose what type of farm you start out with. So a woodland farm, a mountain farm, a beach farm. I think it came out in a newer update, but such a good game, and it's one that, if there's one game that I think every single person, regardless of what type of gamer you are, that you should try, it's this game. It's one that, whether or not you have played any of these type of games before, if you can get into this game and kind of invest into it a little bit, it is one that I think it can relax you. It can kind of clear your mind. It can help you think more clearly if you're having trouble kind of organizing your thoughts. It can give you that escape from the real world that people desperately need, especially in this day and age. But it can also just help you organize your life. Doing something like this where you're organizing something and you're laying things out, whether in a grid format or just the creativity and the customization that you can do here can transfer over where while you're doing it, your mind will organize your thoughts in almost in the same way. So it's a beautiful game. It's an amazing game that it can have so many healing properties that I can't recommend it enough. So definitely worth it. I mean, if nothing else, buy this game. It's been out for a while, and there's no reason not to. I believe you can get it between 10 and $20. I think $20 is the max, and it's what it came out with, or the price point it came out with originally. All right, so there we are. 5 games for vets. So, yeah, just like that, they all I mean, a bunch of them are kind of similar. A couple of them, like the I Am Setsuna and the Pathless, are a little bit deviations from it. And that was kind of by design. I want to try to have a bit of variety. In the games I have, but also with these three, I believe they're so important, and they're such good games that have such therapeutic value to anybody that I can't recommend them enough. If you can only pick one of them, I mean, I guess pick whatever which one you can get on the platform. Stardew Valley would probably be my top choice. I Am Setsuna is a very reasonable price point as well. I honestly don't know what Rune Factory 4, the one on the Switch, I don't know what that price point will be, but if you can get on 3DS, just as well. It's a great game on that platform as well. The Animal Crossing definitely is the most expensive game on here, but it is definitely worth it. And I mean, just look through YouTube. I mean, there's numerous countless videos about this game, but all great picks. And again, I guess let me know in the comment section if you have played any of these, what your thoughts on them. Do you like them? If you don't, just let me know. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Dislike if you didn't. If you are new here, you can hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon, because it'll let you know when new videos are coming out. But yeah, so gonna try to do more of these videos as we go along. I know originally I think I was going to try to do them each month, and if I can stick to that schedule, it'll be great. If not, every couple of months. But good avenues for anybody that's struggling, veterans especially. But yeah, until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.